I don't think it works. And Daniel Jones, there's something there. I want you to talk about this if you're Shane Steichen. What did you see in New York? Because I don't know I didn't love Daniel Jones, but I do think you have to make calls pretty quickly on this stuff. And I don't think Anthony Richardson, I know he didn't play much in college, Matt, but I don't think it works. I don't think it's close.
Well, listen, I mean, I saw a report recently. They were talking about like the 13 new head coach and new starting quarterback situations. And I would have argued back then there's 14, Indianapolis being that one that people aren't talking about. And now Anthony Richardson isn't able to throw. He's got a complication from an AC joint. To me, Daniel Jones is going to be the starting quarterback in Indianapolis. No question about it. I think that this is a chance for him to reinvent his career. He can have a Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, like one of those reinvents. He's a pretty good runner. And listen, Shane Steichen, he's going to use, think about what he did with Jalen Hurts in Philly. Daniel Jones is an underrated runner. He rushed for like 700 yards the year the Giants went to the playoffs, that playoff season that they had. I think this is a great opportunity for Daniel Jones. You remember, like, he reminded a lot of people of the Manning family. Obviously, Peyton Manning with the Indianapolis Colts, that kind of vibe is what they're used to. That kind of, I don't know what the right word for it is, but just like, a consistency. I think the upside is there with Anthony Richardson. There's no doubt about that. But there's some things that I think give some people some pause. I don't know if he'll be able to come back with that organization from tapping out when he was out of breath after a scramble. That was a big misfire to a lot of people there. So it's an open competition, and one guy's healthy right now and the other guy's not.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see what the Colts are going to do with Daniel Jones. And there's some sneaky stuff with Daniel Jones. When you look at Daniel Jones in a clean pocket in 2024, and you do the adjusted completion percentage, so that nullifies like drop passes and whatnot. Jalen Hurts is 1, Jared Goff was 2, Jayden Daniels was tied for 2 with Jared Goff and Jayden Daniels were tied. And then you had Daniel Jones. I mean, it's fascinating that when he's kept clean. I mean, when you look at these other quarterbacks, when you look at the top 10 quarterbacks, it makes sense to a degree. You're like, yeah, Jalen Hurts can play. You're just Super Bowl MVP. Jared Goff, we know. Jayden Daniels had an amazing rookie year. Geno Smith just got a legitimate contract. I mean, like, I know he was slow to rise, but like, he is a respected quarterback and has a lot of top 5, top 10 stats over the years that PFF has him as a top 10 quarterback. Russell Wilson, that man had a clear path to the Hall of Fame until things got a little weird at the end of Seattle and in Denver and then in Pittsburgh. But like, he was that's why he got the contract that he got. He's no scrub. Joe Burrow, we know. Bo Nix had an awesome rookie year. Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield. Like, what I'm trying to point out is it's not like completely random quarterbacks who you're just like, well, what the heck? Who is this? What is that? And it obviously doesn't mean everything because, we know a lot of top quarterbacks are not 100% there, but like, it means something. It means something because when you use adjusted completion percentage in a clean pocket, it neutralizes the O-line, so nothing to do with the O-line, and it neutralizes the type of receiver, who do you have at receiver? Are you catching the ball? And it's just interesting. I do find it interesting, but, and this is where then, you have to kind of put things a little bit more in context. You can see that he only has 1,500 yards, 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. It's like, not the best, obviously, far from it. But, he obviously also played a lot less games. Then weapons do matter. Like, then it's like you have to kind of look in a little bit more of the nuance as to what you're seeing. But it still does signify that there is something there with Daniel Jones. So I've always been a really big fan and believer in Shane Steichen. I do confess I'm not so sure how great he's been as a head coach specifically, considering, specifically running a locker room, running practices, just managing the men in a different capacity rather than just X's and O's as an OC. I do think that's kind of been a thing. I don't think that's why the Colts have been struggling necessarily. I think they need a quarterback. You need a quarterback and to be able to win. But, Daniel Jones does know ball. He might not be this top 5 insanely gifted special quarterback, etc., but he does know ball. He has been in the league for a while now. He's been around the block. And if there's something there, Shane Steichen will get it out of him. He will. And so I'm fascinated to see. Could we see a Sam Darnold-esque rise? That depends. Because, and I've talked about this a lot in Minnesota Vikings videos and Seattle Seahawks videos now, is like, it wasn't like Sam Darnold was just bad, then got to Kevin O'Connell, then was magically had this awesome year, was on a great roster, and boom, there you go. Like, it was a process of him improving both on and off the field, him working with quarterback coaches. Like, it wasn't just O'Connell. Did O'Connell help him tremendously, massively? Undeniably. But Kevin O'Connell wasn't working on his mechanics, wasn't working on his footwork, his arm angles. He did that with Palmer. He did that on his own. So it's just like, what else is Daniel Jones doing to improve his quarterback? But there was also reports that Kevin O'Connell also wanted Daniel Jones to stick around. So when good coaches are interested in a Daniel Jones, that should signal something to you, that there is something potentially there. So I'm interested in this. I really am. They also paid him a chunk of change. Like, they paid him legit. Like, that's like legit money. You don't pay that money to a quarterback who you don't plan on playing or plan on believing you can win. You just don't do that. And it's the same thing what the Vikings did with Sam Darnold when they gave him. They gave Daniel Jones now more money than Sam Darnold got. And you're just not paying 10, 12, 13, 15 million dollars to a backup quarterback just for fun. It's just not what you're getting. That's why Mac Jones got like 4 million or something. You know, these other quarterbacks, they get like 2 million, 4 million, 5 million. I mean, it's just like, once you start getting into the tens, you're like, all right, like that's real money. That is not, it's like, oh, well, the salary cap's got to go to someone. And quarterbacks is like, no, there's a lot you can do with that money. And the fact that it went to Daniel Jones, I don't know, man. I find it fascinating. I'm not confident enough to like plant a flag and be like, Daniel Jones and the Colts, they're winning the division. Let's go. But I will tell you what. If they can protect him, if they can protect him, and Shane Steichen can be a great offensive coordinator and head coach at the same time, because that's essentially what you're expecting him to be, I think the Colts can have a tremendous amount of success. And I do believe that Shane Steichen would be the guy to do it. That I am a firm believer in. So, but I do have a little bit of PTSD from watching Daniel Jones last year. Like, there was some moments when he was making some throws where I was just like, it doesn't look like you know how to throw a football. And that confused me. Like, that confused me. I was just like, I know you're not this like great quarterback, but like, I'm seeing you miss throws. And it's not like it's bad reads. It's not like, oh, you know, it was a poor read. Like, I'm almost more forgiving of that. It was just like, it didn't look like you had the physical ability to just throw the ball the distance that you needed to throw it. And I was just like, I think it was against the Cowboys in the one game, and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm watching here. So it's just that I have to kind of that's probably the biggest reason why I'm kind of like, I can't get like all the energy behind it, but it's definitely got my interest. I will say that. Sorry. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Daniel Jones, the reemergence of greatness for the Indianapolis Colts? He's going to be better than Andrew Luck and Manning combined. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so that you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're all on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.